Hey yo, what is up? TS-54. It looks like the final stats are up on this tank because this tank is in the super test. This tank has been refreshed and it looks like it's going to come out in this final form. Now I know there's a lot of news out there regarding the auction shop, the new TDs and the new Polish 56TP, but on this channel I only make videos about what I like. Now I did not like anything about the auction shop except for that Progetto and that 183. If you didn't already have that tank and you managed to snag the Progetto / Mars or the meme tank, the 183-215B, those are the only two tanks that are actually worth it. The rest are just so. Japanese TDs, I have no interest in that line of tanks. I'm just going to pretend they didn't exist. I'm going to find a way to shoot at them. I'm going to find a way to destroy them when they come out, but I'm not going to play them. I might test them out if I get like a test tank to play with it, and we'll see what happens. And of course, the latest news that came out today, of course, coming out on the test server as well, is the Polish 56TP. I'm going to let that tank cook a little bit on the test server before I make some more videos, make any video about the tank. Let it simmer a little bit and we'll see what happens. But we're looking at the beautiful TS-54. It's got machine guns everywhere. It even looks like it's got two machine guns pointing up at the sky. It's got the machine guns pointing at the side of the turret. Left turret, right turret, machine guns everywhere, and then the two machine guns pointing up at the back of the turret. They look like anti-aircraft guns, or they look like they could be machine guns shooting up at the Starlink up in the sky, who knows. But this is the TS-54. I'm very excited about this tank because it looks like it's going to be ready to come out in its final iteration, and I'm very interested because of that, because it's a sexy looking tank. It looks like it's got armor for days. If you're looking at the modeling right now, you can see 220 penetration with APCR is not going to easily go through that lower plate or that upper plate. Unless you are a little bit taller, then maybe you can shoot down on it. Then it'll be a bit easier to pen. But if you're just like a regular height tank, this thing is just bouncing all over the place. Anyway, the final iterations are as what you see here. The penetration, they increased it from, was it 200? I think 200 was the first initial thing, and then it's now standard penetration 218. Reload has gone down as well, 7.67 seconds. The full reload, this is of course a double barrel. The full reload 15.34 because of that reduced reload time, and the salvo takes 2 seconds to prepare. So you click down the shoot button, 2 seconds later it fires off the shot. And then dispersion as well. This thing was supposed to be 0.40 dispersion. They brought it down to 3.6 dispersion, and the moving dispersion, it was supposed to be a little bit better, 0.12, but now it's 0.14. As you can see, frontally there is really nothing to penetrate the front part of this tank, even with 220 APCR. Very thin part of the roof that you could penetrate, you know, the little cupola, the little commander's hatch thingy. There's really no weak spot here, but I'm going to show you the two weak spots that I did find on this tank. Again, if you're tall and you can shoot down on the roof of the tank, yeah, sure, you can pen it. But other than that, very few places where you can pen this tank. Why am I so interested in this tank is because of that aim time is one of the reasons. 1.92 seconds. This is reduced from 2 point something seconds. They did buff this gun. They did buff this tank, and they're making this tank a lot more interesting than what it was supposed to be in the beginning. So that's what I like about this tank. And you know, it looks kind of sexy, this tank, you're not gonna lie. From the side it looks like a Cadillac. It's got all the lines, it's got all the angles, it looks menacing, it looks sexy. It's got that double barrel. It reminds me of that 703 version 2. You know, the looks is there. Initially, when it first released, you know, some stats about it, I think maybe 10 months, 11 months ago, I was not very excited about it because it didn't look like it was anything special. Now here's the weak spot I was talking about. One is the driver's hatch right down above the upper plate, and the other is the binocular section of the gunner's scope on the left side there, on the left side of the tank, on our right side if you're shooting at it. So these are the only two weak spots that I can find, that gunner's port and that driver's hatch over there. Even if you're slightly taller, even if you're not a tall tank, you can still shoot that driver's hatch and that scope that's sticking out on the side of the turret there. So those are the only two frontal weak spots that I can identify right now. Like I was saying, I didn't like this tank initially when it first came out almost 10 months, a year ago, but this iteration, which is, I assume, is going to be the final iteration, because 1.20 is just around the corner, right? Right after Clan Wars, which is 1 week from now. I'm gonna assume that the 1.20 will drop anytime after that, because they've got to wait for the Clan Wars event to be over before they can roll out new updates and stuff like that. So 1.20 is definitely at the fastest 1 week away after Clan Wars, and I got excited about the TS-54 just because they have seemed to have improved it and make it more desirable now that it's just about to come out. Initially, I didn't think too much about it. I didn't think it was going to be very competitive compared to the 703 version 2 or any other heavy tank out there for that matter. But now, a combination of the way this tank looks, a combination of that double barrel goodness, which is reloading at 7.67 seconds. Yes, the stock penetration 218 is not a big deal. Yes, you can bully tier 7s and tier 6 tanks, but not really tier 8 and tier 9 tanks. But you've got premium penetration at 252 millimeters of APCR, so you're still gonna be able to fight tier 9s and tier 10 tanks, not a problem. I do like the way this tank is going to be rolled out, and I'm very looking forward to, out of all the tanks, all the information that's coming out right now, including those Japanese TDs and all the improvements that they're making with the game, this is what I'm looking forward to. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video and took some useful information, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.